So we got the movie A Silent Voice is an anime drama movie re-releasing in theaters just for a limited time in English and Japanese dub. The original release date was October 20th, 2017. When a young girl gets bullied and transfers to a new school and has no friends, now years later the bullier, so the person who did the bullying, has a lot of remorse and wants to change his past and also make amends to what he did previously in elementary school. But just how far will he go? Can he actually be redeemed? What about the young girl who's in high school now? How does she feel about all of this? Find out as we talk about it. Let's get the first thing out of the way. Anime, especially this style of animation, looks amazing on the big screen. Just like other movies of this genre, you see the colors vibrant and pop, but also distinct for this movie is you see a lot of conveying emotions with their eye movement and also the nice details they use for the sign languages, because she is deaf, so she communicates with like writing in the notebook and doing sign languages. So I feel like the creative team really did a nice job conveying that to the audience, being like, wow, some of these signals are actually true, like you, me, be friends. I thought that was a cool, unique twist that a lot of anime movies probably do get, but I'm just letting you know that that was a nice like emphasis or level up they did. A fair bit of warning, to be honest with you guys, this movie is quite uncomfortable to watch. It will make your heart sink and feel small. I shedded a couple of tears, not just one scene, but multiple scenes throughout the movie. If you've ever been a victim of bullying, harassment, and trauma, this movie will hit close to you. Don't get me wrong, the payoff and redemption is worthy enough, but it takes a while to get there. It's like 2 hours and like 6 minutes. Although when I was watching this movie, to be honest with you, I felt lost, sad, but hopeful as well. I would kind of say there's two parts to this movie: the elementary school part where the bullying does take place and the high school part where the redemption starts to happen. Although you do get flashbacks to both, but seeing this young girl transfer to a new school and gets bullied by one of the main guys, especially if you've seen like the poster or the trailer, you get the sense of what the F are they doing? Why are they throwing her notebook into the water? Because I feel like, and some other people feel like, that's the way he knew how to communicate only when he was in elementary school. And if you're talking about, or you're asking who am I talking about, I'm talking about the main guy called Shoya Ishida being the main bullier. So I'm sorry if I'm not pronouncing that name right. And like the only way he knew how to communicate with his friends in elementary school was like bullying, teasing, like rough play. And guess what? He took the time, he went through all the trouble learning to learn how to sign language, and just so he could communicate with her and just feel sorry. And not just one time, multiple points throughout the movie. There's a scene in the trailers, or if you've seen the movie, where he gives her back her notebook in high school, and this is the first time they're seeing each other after many years, and she knows who he is. She's like, this guy, like, F this guy. She starts crying, you know, but he gives her back her notebook. It's all crumpled up, it's all messy. And the reason why I'm bringing this up is because that's the first time they're meeting. He's not just be like, hey, can you and me be friends? Like, this is your notebook. And a lot of people speculated, or maybe in lore videos, and which I didn't do deep dives on, but it feels for me, since I've watched it twice, he gave her voice back. Hence the title A Silent Voice, because that's the only way she knew how to communicate with people when she was in elementary school. Remember, she was deaf. She sign language a lot, but the other kids didn't know how to do that. So she just write in her notebook. But it was easier for her to sign language. But still, when he gave her back to her notebook, she's like crying. She was so cute about it. I was like, oh no. You know, I'm like, damn, dude. And that's like the beginning of his redemption arc. Like, try to be like amends to his past. And it's even hard to talk about it because I'm like, damn, dude. Like, it really feels... I don't know, when I was watching this in the movie, it did not feel happy. It did not feel happy. Shoko Nishimiya, sorry if I'm not saying that name right. Shoko Nishimiya is the young girl who does get bullied, and even when she does, she apologizes because she's still caring and kind even to her oppressors, although at some points at the movie she does fight back. She's like, enough is enough. She starts like throwing hands with the kid at some points throughout the movie, but she does have a lot of great character development. Although she's definitely older in high school, she's still wiser and kinder with her approach. She doesn't really change throughout the movie. I mean, she does, but in terms of who she is, in terms of being kind, saying sorry, being respectfulness, she still has that in spades in this movie. However, it's not all doom and gloom though. Throughout the movie, there are some friends involved. If you've seen some of the trailers or some screenshots, there is a moment when they're at the carnival scene when he's like, is this what it feels like to have friends, you know, to be happy? And they're all like, you know, laughing, they're in the carnival, they're getting food, they're going on the roller coaster ride. So it's not all doom and gloom. There are some happy scenes, but those are few and far between, and when they are, they're used to great meaningful effect. One last thing before we go, we see these characters go through a lot of trials and tribulations. I mean, don't get me wrong, justice is served for both of them, and it does happen, especially in the fireworks scene. This is the moment that I really want to talk about that had me shed the most amount of tears. And I'm not gonna spoil for you what happens, but it's the fireworks scene, right? I'll post some photos on the screen for you right now. But it just made me really feel for these characters because he's telling God, he's just like, hey, like, help me with this one last thing and I'll be better tomorrow. But even at this point in the movie, he has already done better. And seeing this character pull another character back from the brink of being gone, it's very emotional because they're crying, both of them. You know, she's looking at him, he's looking down at her, he's holding her up, and it's like, dude, this character has already went through a lot, both of them. And the guy's already telling God, like, I'll still do more. Like, I'm still gonna do more. You know, he's like, I'm sorry, like, just help me out. I'm gonna look people in the face. And I was just like, dude, this was so significant turning point for the movie. Not just for us, but also for both of the characters. Because the guy's like, I'm not giving up. And she's looking at him, and she's like, he's crying. And she's like, what? Like, this guy's really sorry for what he's done. Like, she felt that way. She's like, you know what? Like, I'm gonna take a chance, and you know, I'm not gonna tell you what happens, but I'm like, dude, the redemption arc has already started. And even talking about it, dude, it's like I really cried in the movie. I'm not gonna lie, dude. I don't care, you know? Like, it was just such an amazing moment, the characters that they went through, especially in that scene. And I also got to mention the cinematic score and soundtrack really fit with the overall narrative of the bullying. Yeah, there's some dramatic lows, but also some high highs as well. And you see the uncertainty of the friendships and how to navigate them with uneasiness. So I feel like the score and cinematic soundtrack really fit the overall tone that the movie's going for. Playing at the right times, even conveying the right emotions, making us feel what the characters are going through, especially that fireworks scene. Oh my god, dude, it's like, it makes me want to like shed a tear, you know, talking about it. Google says it's classified as a romance drama movie, but to be very honest with you, it's nothing from a romance drama movie. I did do some research and I did talk to some people, and it's implied that the end of the manga, they become a couple. They become a relationship. And to be very honest with you, yeah, I definitely believe that, and I would be okay with that because let's be honest, these characters go through a wild journey. Like I told you earlier, this guy went through all the trouble just to learn how to sing language. I mean, yeah, he's not that good, but he's more better than the average person. I mean, he does talk to this girl a lot. I don't know, he said like thinking me and you could be friends. I was like, dude, and that's what I'm telling you with their great details with like, are you okay? Like, wow, dude, I've learned some sign language just because of watching this movie of anime. So answering the question, yeah, I definitely do think they could be a couple because she's probably thinking, you know what? He bullied me, but now he changed so much and he's continued to change. Like, it's not just a one-day thing. It's like a multiple day, multiple weeks, multiple months. This guy is literally changing for like eons on end. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if the rest of their life, let's say they do become a couple, which they probably will. Let's say they are a couple. This guy will never stop like treating her the best way he can probably get. And she's probably like, you know what? This guy has already shown me that he cares about me. That fireworks scene was a lot to take in. So yeah, if they do become a couple, I would love that because this guy learns how to sign language now. They're hanging out. They have friends. They go on multiple dates. Yeah, I'm sorry to call them not hangouts, but they're actually dates. Of course, I would buy the fact that they are a couple. It may not happen in the next few years of this movie, but maybe when they get older, she's probably like, hey, like, you remember me? Because he defends her at some points. I'm like, wow, dude. Going from bullying her to defending her with other people is an amazing astonishment to see. At the end of the day, I'm going to give this a grade A. This is a beautifully crafted work of art, especially of anime, talking about works of redemption, bullying, but also doing the unthinkable. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, don't get me wrong, you want these characters to have justice, and they do, but it's also a good movie about second chances, about being remorseful about your past and wanting to change your ways for the better, and also not continuing to stop being better for the people that you care about. If you made it this far, I really appreciate you so much. Maybe consider hitting that like button and turning on notifications so you never miss a video. And with that, take care, bye!